crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now a 2nd and 2. They'll go play action with Nix. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And Sutton will have a Broncos first down up near midfield, spotted at the 48. Now it's Nix. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Off the play fake. Nix. That's caught. It's Marvin Mims. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Marvin Mims, 52 yards. And the Broncos have got it back to within a score. So on this drive, the rookie leads him into the end zone, Charles, and that helps cancel out the points that were created on the previous drive when he threw the interception.
Yeah, let's give some credit to this rookie because instead of hanging his head after his mistake leads to a touchdown, he comes back out and he's firing and made up for it right there. A well-executed series that helps reestablish some confidence in him to run this offense.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can...
But I think the ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos.
Partner, everything that happened before that fumble was great. Good vision, navigated the open field, got good chunk yardage. At that point, if you see a defender coming, though, just step out of bounds. Don't risk all you picked up before the hit to just try and get an extra yard or two.
Escaping the pressure right. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Down the left sideline. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return. A scoop and score for the Vikings. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. McCarthy going to look to throw for it. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it as we resume action. Minnesota's kick team ready and the Vikings boom it away. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Nix from the shotgun. Flushed out right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he makes it past the 50. Nix now on 1st and 10. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
They'll roll him out right. He's got it at the 15. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Give him 32 on the play. Here's Nix. Sliding out of the pocket. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. A first carry now. This is Williams. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 3rd and 2. To throw is Nix. Eluding the pressure right. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. McCarthy off the play fake. Rolling to his right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. There go play action. Here's McCarthy. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. He'll buy some time right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And he's got his guys set up great now. 1st and goal, and the Pigs get at the 7-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Nix escaping the pressure right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. He felt the pressure coming there. That was a good job of just making something out of nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, took the hit and still made the play. You know, when we talk about runners, all right, and on running plays, runs after contact, we call that getting dirty yards, tough, gritty ones. To me, that's like the version of a dirty pass.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They'll take over deep in their own end after the fumble recovery as they start 1st and 10. There's Jefferson to pull that in. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. On play action, now McCarthy out to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And he's got this to Jefferson. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. On play action, McCarthy. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the 1st down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Oh, and some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Cody Barton there to bring him down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now a 2nd and 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Now 3rd and long. Here's McCarthy. Flushed out right. Now throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Going for it. Here's McCarthy. brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. On play action, here's Nix. Being chased out left. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. The leading rusher in NCAA history from Youngstown State. Here's Jaleel McLaughlin. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. The kick by Lutz is good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired, CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If the ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. Tough spot here. 3rd down and 11. Here's a give to Jones running left. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Nix to the air. Flush to his right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Nix to throw on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown, Broncos! Adam Troutman, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. So, boy, that's already the 3rd they burn here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the 4th quarter. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42.
Switch. Kill. Jimmy.
To the air with McCarthy. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. This is where the mile-high air really starts to affect an opposing offense. Guys moving a bit slowly here. It's third and long. Now McCarthy. That's down the field for Jefferson. And that's caught inside the 30. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. Now McCarthy throwing on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. On the delay, Jones. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Back to throw. McCarthy. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back at the 29. And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Going for it all. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Broncos are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. So now it's 2 straight drives that end with an interception.
And the first time, the first interception, they ended up getting 6 points out of it and taking the lead. Now they have an opportunity to increase that lead after their 2nd pick on 2 drives.
Pressure comes and down he goes. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Nix. Escaping the pressure right. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down. To throw, here's Nix. And oh, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Just because you've got the lead in the 4th, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They're going. It's Nix. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Oh, that is incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Looking to throw. McCarthy. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Brandon Jones picking it off. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Boy, Charles, you hate to see this for a rookie quarterback. You're hoping it doesn't shake his confidence, but that confidence, it might be shaken because that is 4 interceptions for him now in this ballgame.
It has to be shaken. Wouldn't be human if you weren't. Doesn't matter whether you're a rookie or a veteran. 4 interceptions, you're not sure what you're doing out there. So to me as a coaching staff, I would think very hard about getting him out and trying it again another day.
That is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Nix.
He'll let this go deep for Sutton. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
And the Vikings are right back in this football game.
Well, holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half, those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker.
And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown.
Jaleel McLaughlin,
a 16-yard touchdown.
And the Broncos have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. Charles, that's a pretty good response from a rookie quarterback. He's had his struggles in this game, including the interception on the last drive, but there he takes him down the field and puts it in the end zone.
I agree with everything you just said right there, and there's a silver lining to all of this, his resiliency, because let's face it, when things are going bad and you're a youngster, they often continue to go bad. But in his mind and his actions, he said, this stops right here. And how about the positive play he just turned in?
And the touchdown apparently not enough. They want more, an onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
Here's 1st and 10.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking downfield for Jones. Touchdown, Vikings.
Aaron Jones.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Vikings have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
They'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he will get into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion will cut this down to a 6-point game. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. Boy, a bad break. Just got the lead on the touchdown, and now they're going to have to go on defense at the 40-yard line here as things get good in the 4th quarter. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42.
Throwing Nix.
And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Cortland Sutton, 58 yards.
And the Broncos use the big play to extend their fourth quarter lead. They have to love seeing that from their young quarterback here in the fourth quarter, able to further that lead with a touchdown pass.
He didn't go turtle, did he? And you know what I mean by that. I had an old coach used to say all the time, hey, when we have a lead late, don't just tuck in and try.
And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on the two-point try. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Ty Chandler now to return it. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. This is 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. McCarthy. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They'll come up now on 2nd down. Back to throw. McCarthy. And the Broncos get there and take him down. This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. McCarthy. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, this is getting close to a no-win situation now. They've got one final shot. They're on their end of the field, and it's 4th and long. This might require a little extra razzle-dazzle to get it done.
Alert three. He's checking.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, 82 yards. And the Vikings' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll try and throw for it. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. From his end zone, Marvin Mims. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Off play action. Nix flush to his right. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Off the play fake. Nix steps away to his left. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Nix on 1st down. That is intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Vikings are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. He'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Well, here's a classic second guess. I thought he had a better chance of a positive play if he just ran it himself. The coverage downfield was really good. That one falls incomplete.
Here's second down.
They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked up by Riley Moss. And the Broncos have just about sewn up this football game.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. Just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.